Welcome to This Explainer. If you're tuning in, you probably have a beloved holiday plant sitting on a windowsill right now. But let me guess, maybe it's looking a little limp. Maybe it's wilting, or perhaps it has stubbornly refused to produce those spectacular waterfall-like blooms for years. Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're taking you from absolute beginner to expert with a complete masterclass on the Christmas cactus. So, I want you to ask yourself, why exactly is your Christmas cactus struggling? You're probably thinking, hey, it's a cactus, right? It should be practically indestructible. Well, I need you to completely rethink what you know about this plant. If you've been treating it like one of those spiky green guys sitting out in the scorching desert sun, that is exactly why your plant is unhappy. We're going to establish a major paradigm shift today. Okay, let's dive into this. When you picture a classic desert cactus, you think of hot, dry, sandy soil and, very rare watering. But the Christmas cactus is actually a jungle cactus. It craves humidity, moist but well-draining soil, dappled light, and regular watering. Its ancestors don't grow in the sand. They actually grow in the misty, humid cloud forests of Brazil. Here is our masterclass syllabus for today. We'll be covering 1. A jungle cactus in disguise. 2. Mastering core care basics. 3. The secret to winter blooms. 4. Pruning and propagation methods. 5. Troubleshooting pests and problems. And 6. Pro tips for success. Section 1. A jungle cactus in disguise. Establishing the true origins of this plant is honestly the key to everything. In the wild, the Christmas cactus is what botanists call an epiphyte. This means it literally grows on another plant, like high up in the crotches of tree branches. They draw their moisture and nutrients from the air, the rain, and all the decomposing leaf litter trapped around the roots. This explains exactly why this plant needs airy bark in its soil and high humidity, rather than dense, heavy desert sand. But before we go any further, we need to clarify a little holiday identity crisis, because the plant you own probably isn't a Christmas cactus at all. The true Christmas cactus, known scientifically as Schlumbergera buckleyi, has these scalloped, rounded segment edges and naturally blooms in December. But the Thanksgiving cactus, Schlumbergera truncata, has pointed, claw-like edges and naturally blooms in November. Most store-bought varieties you see with those sharp claws are actually Thanksgiving cacti in disguise. But don't worry, their daily care is virtually identical. Section 2. Mastering core care basics. Now that we know what we're working with, we have to master the daily, non-negotiable building blocks required if you want that incredible floral display later on. First up, they need bright, indirect light. An east-facing window catching that gentle morning sun is absolutely perfect. You want to keep them out of the direct, scorching afternoon sun, which will literally burn their segments. For watering, you're aiming for the Goldilocks zone. Never bone dry, never soggy. Just water it thoroughly when the top inch of soil feels dry to the touch. And during their active growing season in spring and summer, go ahead and feed them a diluted liquid fertilizer every 2 to 4 weeks. Now, because it's an epiphyte, standard heavy potting soil is just going to suffocate the roots. And a typical desert cactus mix drains way too fast. The absolute sweet spot is a mix of 50% peat or coco coir for moisture retention, 25% perlite for drainage, and 25% orchid bark. That orchid bark is the secret ingredient here. It perfectly mimics the loose bark and debris of the rainforest canopy. And speaking of the rainforest, your target humidity is 50 to 60%. During the winter, our central heating absolutely strips moisture from the air, dropping it well below 30%. To combat that bone-dry winter air, you can set your pot on a pebble tray filled with water, or even just place the plant in a bright bathroom where it can soak up the steam from your daily shower. Section 3. The secret to winter blooms. Okay, this is where we separate the casual houseplant owners from the absolute masters. Getting a Christmas cactus to bloom doesn't just happen by accident. It's a mechanical process that must start in early to mid-October. It requires 3 specific signals. Step 1 is the dark treatment. Step 2 is a drop to cool nighttime temperatures, somewhere between 50 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit. And step 3 is reducing your watering to roughly every 2 to 3 weeks and stopping fertilization completely. This mild stress is what signals to the plant, hey, winter's coming, it's time to make flowers. Now, there is a magic number required to make this work, and that number is 12 to 14. That is the exact number of hours of complete, uninterrupted darkness your plant requires each and every night for 6 to 8 weeks to successfully force bud formation. I mean, complete darkness. No street light shining through the window, no hallway light seeping under a door crack. Even a brief flash of a room light can totally reset the plant's internal clock. Seriously, put it in a dark closet every evening if you have to. And once you've successfully completed that dark treatment and you finally see those tiny buds forming on the tips of the segments, rule number 1, do not move the plant. I really cannot emphasize this enough. Changing the light direction or causing a sudden temperature fluctuation is the number 1 reason buds suddenly drop off right before they open. Just leave it right where it is. Section 4, pruning and propagation methods. Once that magnificent bloom show is over, we enter the post-bloom phase. This is all about encouraging bushier growth for next year and creating new little plants to share with friends. Pruning should happen in late winter or early spring, right after the blooms fade. The technique here is absolutely crucial. You want to gently twist off 1 or 2 segments at the joint. Don't cut them with scissors. Twisting encourages the plant to branch out at that exact spot, which means double the blooms next year. And the best part? Every single pruned segment is a potential new plant. Just let the twisted end callus over in a dry spot for a day or 2, then plant it shallowly in moist soil. It's such an incredibly easy and rewarding way to create heirloom gifts. Section 5, troubleshooting pests and problems. Of course, sometimes things go wrong, so let's walk through a quick troubleshooting guide to get your plant back on track. If your symptom is dropping buds, the cause is almost always that you moved the plant or it's been exposed to a cold draft. The solution there is to just keep its environment perfectly stable. If you see wilting segments, check the soil. If it's bone dry, give it a really good soak. But if it's wet and wilting, you likely have root rot and you need to unpot it and check the roots immediately. Finally, if you see white cottony spots or fine webbing, you're dealing with mealybugs or spider mites. Treat those segments directly with a cotton swab dipped in rubbing alcohol, or you can apply some neem oil. Section 6, pro tips for success. Let's summarize the most impactful expert-level takeaways from this explainer so you can achieve absolute mastery. First, try bottom watering. Letting the pot soak up water from a tray prevents moisture from sitting on those delicate stem joints and causing rot. Second, cool nights are a powerful trigger. Combining them with your dark treatment sets significantly more buds. Third, physically mark your calendar for early October so you don't forget to start the dark treatment. And finally, don't rush to repot. These plants actually prefer being slightly root-bound, which can even help encourage blooming. If you take absolutely nothing else away from this masterclass today, remember this core paradigm shift. It's a jungle cactus, not a desert cactus. That is the absolute why behind every single care instruction we've discussed today. Water it, give it humidity, provide dappled light, and treat it like the tropical rainforest native it truly is. Which leaves us with just one final question. Are you ready to plan your first winter bloom? Or will your plant remain a jungle cactus in disguise for another year? Armed with the right soil, the proper watering rhythm, and that secret 14-hour dark treatment, you have everything you need to transform that sleepy green plant into a stunning holiday centerpiece. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and happy growing.